Hey, Segovia, back with another video. Hope everyone out there is having a good day. Today's video, we got some creepy TikToks that's going to make you question everything. Sit back, relax, leave that like, and enjoy the
How
show.
do they not have sensors that detect where the planes are? How is that even possible? That you could be in a place where planes are flying 500 miles an hour left and right all over the place, landing and taking off, and you're going to fly through that and you don't know where the planes are? That seems insane. That doesn't even seem possible because, like, how could you exist as a military aircraft if you don't have a comprehensive analysis of everything that's around you all the time? We have sensors. We put them on jets. Why wouldn't we put sensors on the helicopter?
Well, they probably do have them.
So why didn't it work?
We're going to find out pretty soon.
Will we even know?
We'll never
but everybody's dead, right? So how do you know when everybody's dead? They think the pilots are dead of the helicopter. I believe was there supposed to be 2 people in the helicopter? I believe 3 people in the helicopter. And was it like 60 or 70 people? 60 people in the plane are dead.
Creepy would that be? I mean, terrible event, but that Black Hawk had some bright, bright lights. I've never been in a cockpit. I don't know what it looks like in there. If you're even looking at what's in front of you, like when you're driving a car, you might just be looking at the machines. I don't know, but you would think it's 2025, some sensors would go off, right?
Having a hard time breathing at points there, but again, just watching this video, that looks like
It does look like a
it
missile.
was a mid-air collision. I don't want to speculate, but some kind of breakup of a plane at that point. You just don't see planes come down like that in Northeast Philly very often. Back to the ground, a video from Steve Keeley. There's a Dunkin' Donuts right there, and you see fires burning. I don't know if that's
CEO of United Airlines last month. The CEO, he announced of all the hiring for all the new pilots that are coming up this year, all the hiring for the new pilots, the main focus is going to be diversity. What? Diversity? Not the best pilots you can find? The ones with the most hours of experience? Ones you've done it before?
America, do not get distracted by Trump saying the reason the American Airlines and Black Hawk collided was because of DEI. The real reason, and what he wants you to not pay attention to by saying this sensational thing to get everyone in an uproar, is the fact that on January 20th, Elon Musk, after several attempts to do so prior, was able to finally get the FAA administrator to resign. And the reason he wanted him to resign is because he gave Elon Musk a bill for $600,000 in civil penalties against SpaceX. So in order to avoid $600,000 worth of penalties, which are a drop in the bucket for Elon, he'd rather have someone resign.
Let's read this tweet. It will take an airplane crashing and killing hundreds of people for them to change this crazy policy of DEI. Can't stand this guy, y'all. Cannot stand Elon Musk. That was January 9th he said that. Like, there's no coincidence in that, y'all. There's no coincidence in that.
Baby, you know how I know TikTok changed? Because when I went to look for the video for the plane crash, they're all just breaking news videos. Nothing from a person. There's no, so you're telling me no people heard and filmed that last night. You know what I mean? One of those what-you-call-it's hit that thing. You hear me? One of those what-you-call-it's hit that thing, and they try to act like that's not what it is. It's just crazy, because that's not what happened. Say hi to everybody.
Everybody. I gotta go.
All right. Guys, if I were you, I wouldn't get back in an airplane. I haven't gotten in one since 2020, and I don't plan to get in one. If I can't drive to it, I ain't going. Better think about that, guys.
I would
Everything that happened in 2020 is happening again.
Who is the most demon-possessed person in politics right now?
Oh, there are so many candidates.
I agree. I think U.S. politics is run by demons.
Well, greed,
Yes.
the spirit of mammon,
Spirit of who?
a mammon,
Oh.
and the spirit of Leviathan, the spirit of pride, runs politics. I know how desperately you wanted me to say Nancy Pelosi or Bernie Sanders or Kamala Harris, but I'm not going to do it.
Maybe Trump. Maybe Trump's got a demon.
Maybe. Anybody could have demons. And some of those people override those impulses by trying to do the right thing with a belief system that is good. But
what I'm really getting at is Hillary Clinton.
you don't know how they sleep at night, and you don't know what they're like behind closed doors. None of them. And that's the thing. It isn't how we act in public. It's how we treat our families, our innocent children, our spouses, our friends. Jesus said, greater love has no man than this, than to lay down his life for a friend.
Everybody think that that God, that they worship is God, but that's really the devil. Everybody tricked in the world, right? Everybody in church, they worshiping the devil. The devil got everybody in a trick. They got everybody thinking the light come from God, but the light really the devil. God come from the dark. They say God created the world in triple darkness. So that means that God, wherever he resides, is the dark. But then everybody follow the light. Oh, they're confused.
This covenant of blood. What blood? The blood of this covenant. Glory to God. Cut the covenant with his father God. Glory. Yes, like Moses of old. There's they're coming one. Don't ever do it. Don't ever feel sorry for yourself. Don't ever do it. Absolutely stunning. Just delicious. It's so good. And he will be like Moses, and he'll live 120 years and said, yeah. Preach it, brother, preach it, brother, preach it. Just before the cross.
Like, I'm not going to say all churches, but we did see a clip recently where the devil likes to hang out in churches, right? That's because he needs to get those people. But how big of a lie would it be if we really do need to go to the dark instead of the light? Like, think about how crazy we've been taught since the beginning of time. And you see that preacher preaching. I don't know. It's just crazy to think of. Like, you never know, y'all. You never know. That's where faith comes in, right?
Right. Now you caught that, right?
Your boy's got hotkeys now. Make it simple. Learning, y'all. You grow and grow and grow as in everything in life. You just grow.
Reach out to the producer. He's talking about
recycling pizza boxes.
No, but he said reach out.
There's a code
He's talking
going
about
on,
reach out to the producer.
Yeah.
Fuck that, and let him know it's gonna be a new term to that Netflix flick. You know, he's talking about something he got on audio, on the video, right?
Yeah.
But he from there he went to like, let them laugh now. We're gonna laugh the loudest later. So I believe we're gonna wake up once he figures out whatever he figures out and accept what he's gonna accept. I think he's holding some things to try to get people to do certain things, whatever that may be. I can't see it being financed just yet, but me and you both know at least 60% of whatever he has going on needs to cut back, should have been cut back to ready and prepare itself for lawsuits and just legal fees and floating. You know, LA need to be shut down.
Check this out, y'all. Who's behind the book? I think that was Sylvester Stallone. Was it Sylvester? I don't know. Just entertainment purposes.
What was your favorite memory working with Diddy?
You know, personally, I've got to tell you, he really is a major star in this film tonight. He's a spokesman all the way through. I met him before I ever knew of him. I met him when he was 21 years old. And when we met, you know, he played me Craig Mack Flavor in Your Ear. He played me 3 cuts from the forthcoming Notorious B.I.G. album. And we talked for hours and hours about music, and I poured into his dream, and I financed Bad Boy Records, and we had an incredible run, an incredible period. You know, we shared conventions and conferences and rallies together, and to see him, you know, at the time that Whitney died, that night when we were at, you know, my Grammy party.
You're a major influence on the career of P. Diddy. Have you spoken to him since the federal raid? Yeah. Have you spoken to Sean Combs? Any comment, Mr. Davis?
Nothing. Raving and rapping about him.
Any comments about Diddy? He credits you as one of his mentors.
You would.
Raving and rapping about him back in the day when there was no known dirt on him. Dirt on him? You have the right to remain silent, right?
I believe this video, y'all. This video gave me so much chills, y'all. I'm so excited to share with you guys because big changes are coming, y'all. Check this out. So this couple was out taking a romantic stroll on the little canoe, y'all, and they came across this over here. Yes, a doomsday fish. Beach, or should I say rocked, y'all. It didn't beach itself, it literally rocked itself. And now it's literally stuck on the rocks. Look at this. This right here took place in La Paz, California. Yes, California. You guys know what this fish means, right? It's the doomsday fish. If you guys don't know the story about the oarfish, this oarfish comes out during practically earthquake. It feels certain shifts, movements, vibrations on the ground, and it comes to the surface to basically warn humanity. And the region they found the fish was called Isla Espiritu Santo, so the island of the Holy Spirit. Boy, you cannot make this stuff up. The island of the Holy Spirit. Now, this guy was able to help the fish back into the water. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but here he is trying to help it get off the rocks. And the crazy thing is, a smaller one was found off the coast of China just last year, just at the end of last year. I mean, we told you guys the shift is here. Shift, fish, shift. And the fish have been warning us, y'all. You can't make this stuff up. Jesus said he would make you guys a fisher of men. Now look at this. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. Let's continue to get this shift. Peace out.
Why the hell does a cooked chicken cost $4.99 and then a whole chicken for a 2-pack is $16.97? Does that make sense?
Look, sports is only real reality TV.
It's the original.
True reality TV.
The original reality
and
TV.
we're a part of it, and we're that close to it. And
so I have 2 predictions regarding planes. The first one I get is a commercial plane. There's a lot of people on board and there's a lot of people affected by it. It's basically some sort of surprise attack on a commercial airplane. It's like, I keep getting the feeling that it's an inside job, as in that it's someone who is on board and inside the plane, or someone who works for the airline is somehow involved in this, or possibly an airport worker. The second thing that I keep getting from it is that it's a man-made disaster. So it's done intentionally. It's the plane's actually targeted. It's not some sort of malfunction that happens.
Do you guys remember this scene from the movie Leave the World Behind? You know that movie, the one that the Obamas produced. You know the movie that had a giant boat that crashed, and then not too much longer after that movie came out, a giant boat crashed in Baltimore. Well, I couldn't help but notice that scene in that movie compared to what's happened recently in the past few days. And I also couldn't help notice that not too long after this scene where he is noticing a horrific plane crash, well, something else pops on the screen that just happened to catch my attention. And it's right after this. Here it is. A girl wearing a NASA t-shirt.
And while seeing that NASA t-shirt made me think about the Challenger explosion, which was almost exactly 39 years to the day, which when you break it down, 39 or 3 plus 9, or 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, there's a lot of threes. And you know where else I found a lot of threes? With that plane crash, because that plane that crashed was supposed to land on runway 33. And even though the numbers have changed now, initial reports were that there were 60 passengers, and they had found 27 of them. So 60 minus 27 means there were 33 still out there. And just in case you didn't catch it the first time, the news was very consistent in making sure that you knew that runway 33 was the one they were supposed to land on, and runway 33 was going to be closed for a while. Now, I'm not trying to get you to draw any conclusions. I'm just saying, isn't it funny how they made this movie that had a scene that looks very familiar? Just like that movie had a scene that, again, looked very familiar. And, well, that the powers that be, they love the number 33, and they also love another number, 9/11. And it just so happens that part of that wreckage... Now, like I said, I am most certainly not claiming anything. I just wanted to point some things out that made you think. And of course, whatever I say doesn't matter anyway, because I'm just here to give you my satirical humor for entertainment purposes. Have a good day.
Like, that movie, a lot of those things came true. We got the red notes from China, fell out of the sky. The cargo ship into the bridge, Baltimore. This recent plane crash, all by the Obamas. The numbers, it's like Final Destination, y'all. That's so crazy how the 33, wow.
Can't pay attention and can't focus, and they are being impacted by the fluorescent bulbs, which are in the school, and then they are diagnosed with ADD and ADHD, which is interesting. Now, what was interesting was when Dr. John Ott put a lead sheet over the fluorescent bulbs, the children could focus again. Isn't it interesting how they banned lead? Remember that whole thing? Gotta get rid of the lead? Well, that lead actually blocks the rays which are messing with the health from the fluorescent bulbs. So if he shielded the bulbs, people could actually focus again and kids could pay attention again. So when you think about a lot of the stuff that we're not paying attention to, light is actually messing with our minds or healing our minds. And he showed that when fluorescent bulbs were exposed to children, they couldn't pay attention. Now think of what LEDs are doing, because LEDs are even worse than fluorescent because of the radio frequencies and their streetlights. As somebody just commented below, I can't stand fluorescents and LEDs, it's fake and gives me headaches. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Now what's also interesting is we always talk about smartwatches. This is a muscle test.
Nobody's talking about it, but between me and the airport,
touchy subject,
or me and the strip is the Las Vegas airport. I was out here for 3 hours last night. Not a single plane took off or landed, and then the same thing's happening tonight. Last night I have video footage of there was a bunch of different lights around, like beams of lights it looked like around this part above the strip. But tonight we've got sitters. And I'm very confused at why no planes are landing and they're just flying over and around the strip. There's another one that's out there. So you can see the planes in the background moving, whereas the other objects are not.
Welcome back. I have a personal announcement. While today is not my final show, this is going to be my final summer here at Meet the Press. It's been an amazing, nearly decade-long run. I'm really proud of what this team and I have built over the last decade, and frankly, the last 15 plus years that I've been here at NBC, which also includes my time as political director. I've loved so much of this job, helping to explain America to Washington and explain Washington to America. When I took over Meet the Press, it was a Sunday show that had a lot of people questioning whether it could still have a place in the modern media space. Well, I think we've answered that question and then some. We've taken Meet the Press from a single Sunday show to a distinct and important political franchise. From our daily show, Meet the Press Now, our magazine show, Meet the Press Reports, to our newsletters and podcasts, we've successfully expanded what makes Meet the Press special on Sundays to make it special no matter the topic or where it airs or when it airs.
Now, do you guys think if Biden or Kamala would have won, he would still be doing that show? Do you think he really just wants to take time off and spend time with his family? Or did somebody coming into the office force him out? I don't know, but I couldn't stand the damn guy. Just saying.
Jason was recently asked about $24 billion that the government spent on homelessness in California over the last 5 years. But they don't actually know where the money went, and homelessness rose by 13% in California during that time. So people are saying, what is going on here? This is kind of strange. This person, and I don't know his username, so please tag him if you know it, he connected some dots on a potential money laundering scheme. He noticed that the San Diego mayor, Todd Gloria, has been making tons of public housing deals. But the projects don't really make sense because they build a few hundred homes and then they say it costs like hundreds of millions of dollars to build them. And in these deals, one investor comes up over and over, which is Chelsea Investment Corporation. He noticed that their headquarters building mysteriously jumped in value by 1,900% from 3.5 million to 68.7 million between 2016 and 2023. Why would a housing authority lend $67 million against the purchase of a relatively small commercial building? But then this man on the LA City Council, Kevin De Leon, repeatedly shows up involved in these Chelsea-funded projects as well. This is where it connects together and gets crazy. By the 30th of August 2024, the original help message had changed. There was this message, which included the name Kevin De Leon.
Sitting here, like, it's money laundering, y'all. Either that or these politicians are getting all that money. I mean, we saw a clip before that it's going to take $150,000 for each house from the LA fires to clean up. $150,000 to clean up Rebel and with the Bobcat probably. $150,000, y'all, to clean that up. Who's getting all that money? Who's getting that?
Enjoying my Chick-fil-A, okay? And I was about to eat some of the Chick-fil-A sauce. And I was reading the ingredients, and as you can see, EDTA right there, added to protect flavor. When I saw that ingredient, I was like, hold up, that don't look right. When I worked as a dental assistant, we use EDTA for root canals. Ethylene dimetetracetyl acid is what's inside this Chick-fil-A sauce. EDTA can cause abnormal cramps, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, headache, low blood pressure. Too much can cause kidney damage, dangerously low calcium levels, and death. Chick-fil-A, you got some explaining to do.
The reason why we say that we're feeling blue when we're sad is because ships traditionally flew blue flags when their captain passed away. And we say goodnight, sleep tight because beds used to be supported by ropes, so if you tighten the ropes, the bed would get firmer and more comfortable to sleep on. And nosy people are called eavesdroppers because an eave is the part of a roof that extends past the walls of a home, so if someone was trying to overhear a conversation inside, they would stand right under it. A fiasco is a messy situation, but it also means flask in Italian, and when Italian glassmakers messed up one of their designs, they would scrap it and use the glass to make a generic flask instead, a fiasco. If you're being too loud, people will tell you to put a sock in it, and that's because gramophones didn't have volume control, so people would literally stuff socks into the horn to dampen the sound. And pulling all the stops actually comes from the fact that pipe organs do have volume controls. Each pipe is controlled by a knob called a stop, so if all the stops are pulled out, all the pipes can be played at once. And the tallest mast on a ship used to be called a skyscraper, which is why we now call the tallest buildings in a city a skyscraper. A square meal is a full and balanced meal, and we call it that because sailors used to nail these wooden squares to the tables to stop the plates from sliding off.
You expect me to believe that a Black Hawk helicopter collided with an American Airlines flight in DC's most modern and secure airspace. An American Eagle flight that was en route from Wichita, Kansas. Does anybody know about what's happening in Kansas right now? You know, a major Chiburka, you know what outbreak? Putting that aside, I just so happened to track the helicopter's path as well before you were unable to all of a sudden. And boy, did I discover a lot of very interesting information, but we'll get to that here in a second. Do you know how many Russians alone were on that flight? And do keep in mind, no one is believed to actually have survived that mid-air collision. But I really shouldn't have to say much more considering they were Russian personnel. Now let's do keep in mind, okay, there has been reported to be 3 US military personnel that were on board that helicopter. No names have been released as of yet, but this is the really interesting part. When you were able to track the helicopter's flight path, it just so happened to originate from a very specific address. I'm not necessarily sure that I can name out an address on TikTok without receiving a violation, so I'm going to be putting it in the comment section below. But the current owners are the Embassy of Saudi Arabia. And when I noticed that, my instant reaction was, what? What is a Black Hawk helicopter doing taking off from that location? And does anybody remember the Las Vegas incident? Because if you don't, and you haven't gone down that rabbit hole already, I highly suggest that you do. Or you can watch one very specific video from an individual named Ian Carroll on X. You probably already know who he is. His name is Cancel This Clothing Company on TikTok, because he actually did a full rundown on everything that you need to know about it. And if you watch that video, then you obviously know why I'm mentioning that incident. But there are numerous Saudi Arabian diplomats and scholars residing at that address. And like I stated, I'm going to be putting it in the comment section below so you can actually go check that out for yourself.
A lot of details, fishy details, coming about that whole situation from Elon Musk, from that Black Hawk leaving a Saudi Arabia address. A lot of crazy things going on, y'all, with that scenario.
There's more booms happening, bro.
Yeah, we keep getting messages. What could it possibly be?
Okay, well, it doesn't make sense for Florida, but some people out west, they're talking about they're literally like digging tunnels. Listen to this one. This one sounds like an alien mothership coming.
Okay. It's got a spring on it.
What?
That's not fire. That's just like a
No, that last one was like
it sounded like a spring.
like metallic-y.
Like there's a dome or something underground.
Hollow Earth. Maybe all the fallen angels and stuff are trying to get out.
Let us out of here!
The inauguration. Entertainment purposes only, y'all. Don't get mad at me and unsubscribe because of this. Gotta call a spade a spade.
I'm starting to freak out, but then he starts to talk to me, and it's not my language, but it's coming to the understanding is like coming into my mind about every word he's saying, and it calms me down at the same time because I'm having to respond to him. And he's like, hello, I'm having trouble with my craft. I need some repair material. Do you know where I could find some tritium? And this is what he's talking to me about. And I'm like, you mean titanium? Because I didn't know anything about tritium at the time. But titanium, he's like, no, it's not it. And I'm like, well, at this point in my career, I had just left the program. So I knew where Dreamland was. And I pointed to the mountain range because you can see for days in the desert. But I pointed towards the mountain range and I said, Dreamland's just over there. And this wave of emotion hit me like disgust. Like, I am not going to talk to those barbarians and murderers. You know.
Wow. So he was saying that to you, like
Yeah.
his reaction to going to the military base. Was,
Exactly. Yeah.
That I had yesterday. So on this flight, Gordon Ramsay was on the flight, and if you don't know who he is, that's the famous chef. One, we didn't even know where we were flying to. Usually we know where they're gonna take us to. We just know that we landed somewhere in Nevada.
I saw this Gordon Ramsay post on Instagram and immediately knew something felt off because he's not actually at an airport. And I know that because if he was, it would have to be one of these 3 airports. But none of the mountains in the back of these airports are the same. And well, Gordon, I found you. With these pixels that resembled a fence, these mountains, and this arid landscape, there's only one option. Area 51.
When we landed, a group of men in black suits came and escorted him off the plane. Okay. I looked to my right, and I noticed that Gordon Ramsay, he left something on his chair. This tiny pan. This insy-wincy pan.
Was he cooking for aliens? And she done jacked Gordon Ramsay's prop in the video. But what if he's over there cooking for aliens, y'all? Cooking some gourmet food for them.
I wish I could be a fly on the wall to see Travis Kelce's face the minute he found out that Tom Brady is making explosive allegations that the Kansas City Chiefs owner paid millions to the referees so that the Kansas City Chiefs would win the AFC championship. That is an explosive allegation, people. And the crazy thing is, Tom Brady doesn't even have a connection to either team that was playing. So they were saying that he really takes serious the integrity of the game. So I think he just wants to make sure everything's on the up and up in the NFL. And I hope that they don't find out that happened, because that is just going to ruin the game for America. Like, who will want to even root them on anymore, finding out if in fact they were paid off? And then the Kansas City Chiefs have no right to go to the AFC championships if that's the case. Anyway, I'm Peanut. I would love to know your thoughts. And this is my perspective.
What the fuck is it chasing?
Wait, a helicopter's in the sky. Dark, what is that shit?
Fuck? What are those three things right
Sean,
there?
what is that?
Record it.
I am.
You see him? What is it?
Why are they flying in the dark, too? What the fuck?
They're chasing something.
What the fuck? Look at those. Look at three of them.
The fuck is it? Keep recording it.
Crazy things in Phoenix.
Hey, y'all. You're welcome to McDonald's at 12 a.m. at night. Look what we got us right here. We got us some of that alien action everybody's been talking about on the news. Look at that right there. I was about to get me a McRib, too. Wait, you think they want a McRib? Hey, y'all want a McRib? Y'all want a McRib?
Little midnight run. The best.
I'll get him a McRib. Would you think I should give him a McRib?
That one's crazy.
All right, y'all stay safe out there, you heard?
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! What the hell? What the hell?
That looked like a missile, y'all. That's the Philadelphia one. That looked like a missile.
Oh shit! A plane just fucking crashed! Oh shit!
Gang! It just came out that sky.
Because you see, that Philadelphia one had a lot of everyday people out there able to film it. The big one in Washington, D.C., like that guy was saying, you can't find a clip of that. We still can't. Have you guys seen one on any of their reactors? Like actual, like me out there filming TikTok? You can't see that. It's all big time news corporations. So that's how you know something is fishy about it, when there's no everyday people showing clips.
There was a 12-year-old boy, right? Overpowered in 23 videos with titles that indicated that it was abuse. The titles of the videos: Young Best, Uncle's Secret, Little Nephew, things like that on these videos. They had, right, confirmed by the Sunday Times, children as young as 3 on this site.
Be quiet.
The Sunday Times did an investigation in late 2019. They found dozens of videos on the site that were illegal within minutes, even children as young as 3. They have had, now I've seen these videos, and this is described in the New York Times piece by Nick Kristof, videos where victims are so unconscious and their bodies are completely limp, and a masked assailant is actually lifting the eyelids of the victims. You can see their red bloodshot eyes.
What are you talking about?
And actually touching the eyeballs of these victims on Pornhub.
Why haven't we been
like, that's not even on the dark web? That's on that website? I don't know, y'all. That's darkness. Darkness. Disgusting.
The female pilot is of this helicopter, who, from all indications, deliberately flew the helicopter into this American Airlines flight. And why isn't the news media noting, from all observable data that we have, this helicopter deliberately collided with this American Airlines flight? Why aren't we being given the name of the pilot?
Nah, hold on. If the sun is here, and we got another sun over here, then why the hell do I got weird bumps on my lip?
There's your culprit.
Yesterday, 650 kids stayed home from school because they came up with the flu in Godley, Texas. There are only 3,000 students in Godley, Texas. The CDC is down. We are no longer in the World Health Organization. And 650 kids in one small city in Texas, out of 3,000 students, did not show up for school yesterday because they are all sick with the flu.
So I gotta wake up to Selena Gomez crying. What the fuck is wrong with that little Mexican bitch? Oh my God, these California people, why are you crying? If you like the Mexicans so much, get on the bus. Tell Trump to pick you up. I'm over here sweating bullets. You don't see me walking the last couple days. My last name is Diaz. They might make a fucking mistake, and I'm calling you Collect from Colombia. It's the fucking truth.
Calling you Collect.
This thing with Barron Trump. Have you heard that?
Oh yeah, that's nuts too.
That's wild.
Find that one. That one's nuts too. That one's completely bizarre.
There's a series of books from, like, I think it's the late 1800s or something.
Yeah.
About, yes, it's 1900 here, but it's like a person named Barron Trump goes on these adventures, gets a guy from Manhattan to be his guide. It's very strange and very similar to what.
See if you can find what the synopsis, what connects it to Barron Trump. It seems real weird.
It's just called The Last President.
The Last President. That's kind of crazy.
Twilight Zone, y'all.
Because if shit hits the fan and the aliens land, he is the last president. An 1889 novel called Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. It was written by Ingersoll Lockwood. He would go on to write another book called The Last President in 1900. This mystery which involves the Trump family, Nikola Tesla, time travel, and dark forces.
Wow.
Dun dun dun.
Castle Trump.
So he follows the adventures of a young aristocrat named Barron Trump living in a castle named Castle Trump, which is fucking crazy. The character is described as intelligent, curious, and somewhat arrogant, guided by his mentor, Dawn. Barron embarks on fantastical journeys, including one to discover a magical portal in Russia.
I mean, anyone that can see that dude Barron, he's got potential. Anyone blind can see it, right? You can see this guy has potential to be a president one day. He's just got that aura, that confidence already at a young age. But that book, The Last President, his mentor Don, living in a castle, arrogant. Is this real life, y'all? Like, it's crazy. It is crazy.
Exactly how the Washington, D.C. American Airlines plane crash relates directly to the Super Bowl. So you're telling me American Eagle flight en route from Kansas to Washington, D.C. was involved in an accident at the DCA. American Eagle flight 5342 coming from Wichita, Kansas. Both teams coincidentally going to the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, and what just happened last Sunday? The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Washington Commanders. Oh, and just look at this. The Philadelphia Eagles official Twitter page posted a helicopter saying just drop down to say go Birds. On the same day of Kobe Bryant's death 5 years ago, who died in a helicopter crash. As much as I don't care about football anymore anyways, because I know it's just a bunch of grown men running around in suits, I will not be watching the Super Bowl this year.
So he said, coming from Wichita, Kansas to Washington, D.C. So if you want to break it down Super Bowl wise, Kansas City is going to win the Super Bowl because what does a Super Bowl winning team do? Go meet the president in Washington, D.C. Any championship team goes to the White House, if you want to take it to football terms. But there's too much coincidences, y'all. The Kobe, the helicopter, the posting the helicopter, and...
Want to know a conspiracy theory, though, that I saw?
What is it about her?
So, this is alleged, but I saw this thing on TikTok about why she really came back, and it was because, she dated P. Diddy, 13 years ago, right before she left the industry, and now that he's in prison, she just happens to come back, and people think it has to do with, him being put away, because after they broke up, that's, when she left the industry. And now that he's gone, she just happens to come back. So people think that there might be something to do with him being put in jail where she feels comfortable coming back, or maybe she saw the true ways of the industry and it totally ruined her. But now that he's behind bars, she feels a little bit more comfortable being back. I don't know, but I was like, that's pretty crazy coincidence.
Oh, wow. Maybe he, said I'll blackball you or something. And now that he's gone, all those people get to come back and work. Maybe it has something to do with that. I didn't know they dated.
I didn't either. I saw TikTok because it was craziest people that dated in Hollywood, and it was Cameron Diaz and P. Diddy were one of the couples.
What happened to Justin Bieber? This doesn't even look like the same person at all. Or am I just being too much of a conspiracy theorist? Oh yeah, and TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. But you tell me what is going on here, because really this looks like a completely different person to me. But again, maybe I'm just being too paranoid. Maybe I'm being too much of a Looney Tune, or maybe there is something more going on here. Does that look like the same person to you? I know that he's gone through a lot, and I do feel bad for him. I do. Trust me, I do, because all of the stuff with Diddy, maybe that's taking a toll on him. But really, it looks like a completely different person to me. What do you think is going on? What do you think happened? Again, maybe I'm being too much of a conspiracy theorist. Maybe. Or maybe there is something more going on here.
That's what I get. Fucking immigration tries to show up, everybody leaves. Not a soul in here. Everybody's out. Fuck, man.
I've heard of a craft that you go inside of it and it looks like a couple 100 feet on the outside. You go inside of it, and it's bigger than a football field.
Yeah,
Doctor Who style.
Because it's going into this other dimension, and there's actually more space to that. Yes, and that's what this guy was describing.
So we've all heard that too. The other thing too about the dimensional thing, because of the speeds that they're moving at, it could be that they're moving so fast it looks like they slipped into a dimension. Because sometimes you'll see these things go off into the sky and then do some weird whatever, and then they're gone. Mm-hmm. And then other times what you're seeing is this thing is moving slowly, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and you're like, did they just slip into a dimension, or is that their
is the speed so fast that you can't track it with your eye?
Yes. I have heard people tell me that they were seeing some of these things moving at 16,000 miles per hour plus, and we're still accelerating. I've never been able to verify.
Even on the Jeffrey Epstein case, what's suggesting government involvement here?
What do you mean? What do you mean what's suggesting?
What part of the Jeffrey Epstein case is oh my God, the government is playing a part in this?
Well, the fact that he had ties to the Mossad and the CIA, and that when they raided his home, he had his face and about, 6 different passports? Who can issue passports?
For when we look at Epstein, right? Epstein was a billionaire, right?
Why was he a billionaire?
Why? Because of trading or whatever he did? I'm not totally sure.
No, that's the question. Nobody knows why
I don't know why. Yeah, but there's $1 million different. Sure. There's lots of people where I don't know how they made their money, but to fill in the gaps of all of this with some.
No, you should always know how somebody became a billionaire. That's a very easy thing. Somebody shouldn't just be I became a billionaire and you have no idea how.
I'm sure there are tons of people who are billionaires.
I sold the product. You know why Elon Musk has money. You know why Jeff Bezos has money. You should not say we can't connect the dots on how this person became a billionaire that was able to purchase an island.
The filings aren't always going to be public. That I can figure out exactly why this person became a billionaire. If they don't work in public traded companies or something, how will you ever know?
Did you actually look into the Epstein case, or are you just, because I can't tell right now if your thing is just to be contrarian?
Okay, hold on.
No, I'm being serious. No, I'm asking you because it seems like you're just like, whatever your position is, I'm going to take the opposite and I'm going to say something really quickly and try to say, well, how do we know? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, that's actually quite boring.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, dude, like, let's actually have a real conversation because tons of stuff is happening right now. A lot of stuff is being exposed, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are for the first time able to grasp a theory that finally makes sense, right? It finally makes sense. It makes sense that there is a blackmail ring operating in DC because we don't understand why we keep sending our politicians to DC and then it's like they completely serve anybody other than the American people. You're looking at the Diddy thing and you're realizing how many artists have stood up and said this exact same thing was going on. Now you have somebody that has filed something with proof saying it's going on. And then you just have like a Destiny being like, oh, what if it's not going on? What if it's not? Whoa.
Okay, well, sure. So here's like a super...
Oh, maybe WAP is just really just that amazing. People just love talking about vaginas and like mopping the floor. It's like, you can do that thing, but it's not interesting. You know what I mean?
Plastics are the ones to really avoid. The problem with the black plastic, so think sushi container, rotisserie chicken container, any takeout container, or those black forks that you have at parties, those are not always, but often made of recycled plastic from recycled electronics.
So believe it or not, this is one that shocked me. My wife is very healthy and into nutrition and are eating organic. We had some of these black plastic items in our home. So we've switched everything to glass and cast iron pots and storing things in glassware instead of black plastic. So we've gotten rid of everything. So I recommend this very highly. Do it at your house as well. Remember, we believe cancer is a deficiency disease, but black plastics are certainly poisoning us. It's been proven. So get rid of them.
If you really want to tap into some stuff, get up at 4 o'clock, and that's when you're most creative. So even if you got some problems, and you're trying to figure some shit out, and you need some kind of thing, get up at 4 o'clock and think about it. And you'll tap into it. It'll bring you all the shit you need.
There's 3 cities that you need to study how they operate and how they transact with each other and with the world. There's 3 independent nation states: Washington, D.C., the City of London, and the Vatican. The political arm, the financial arm, and the religious arm of the world. That's all I'm going to say.
How close was Diddy and Jay-Z? They was close enough that they wasn't playing basketball. They wasn't playing baseball. They wasn't playing football. And they wasn't playing hockey or soccer for Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his ass, and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but Jay-Z. Now, I don't know what kind of statement, and I can't say, I wish I could say half, but I know I can't say it. But I don't know what kind of half a that is. And you trying to say that you're not close to somebody. You coming on stage, patting them on their ass, and then you making a broad statement to the public, can't nobody call me Sean but Sean Carter. And I heard Jay-Z said the same thing about them. But they were so close that they had matching together. Because when they used to see each other, they used to say, yo, how your skinny doing? He'd be like, yo, how your skinny doing? So I guess that's a certain type of closeness.
Over 85% of the grass-fed beef in, the American market is imported product, not raised in America. Isn't that nuts? So in 20 years, we've gone from being a very early innovator to just a meager portion of 15%.
Well, that's true, but it's not the worst part. The worst part is that imported beef is legally labeled product of the USA.
How's that?
If value is added in this country, it's a product of the USA.
What?
And we compete with it every day.
How did they add value?
Ooh, go ahead. No, you go. This is good.
If they grind it, slice it, cut it, package it, label it,
rebox it,
transport it. But the animal, make no mistake, the animal was born, raised, and slaughtered in Uruguay, Australia, New Zealand, or 20 other countries.
Lithuania.
Lithuania.
Croatia.
The United States imports beef from places like Australia, Canada, and much of Latin America. It then runs that beef through USDA inspection, and if it passes, sticks a label on it that reads "Product of the USA." How dare you?
Pulled out. Like, that's how you know. Don't waste your money on organic, grass-fed, made in the USA. So you're going to pay $30 for a ribeye instead of $10, $15. But why can't they make this stuff here? Like, why can't they raise a cow here, butcher it? You know how much land is out there? How much people are wanting to cattle? Farmers? Just make money out. It's cheaper out there. Cheaper to bring the whole cow here. We butcher it. We package it. We label it. And now it's American.
Out of him and kissed him while he masturbated. The 2 books that I just referenced should be available to kids. Is that what you're saying?
Parents should be working with students and educators to be making decisions.
That's the guy speaking for that book.
It's because students are...
And who decides ultimately? The librarian, or do you take a vote, or who takes the vote?
Book review committees in the community in my school district.
You want a committee to decide?
There are committees.
What planet did you just parachute in from?
Michael is gone. Tupac is gone. Prince is gone. Whitney is gone. Amy Winehouse is gone. David Bowie is gone. But I'm still standing.
He seems to have forgotten a few. Jim Morrison isn't gone. Jimi Hendrix isn't gone. Kurt Cobain isn't gone. Bob Marley isn't gone. And currently, I'm on the hunt for Chris Cornell. A lot of people seem to think that he really is gone, and while I'm having a harder time finding him more than the others, well, something tells me he's around somewhere as well. And if you're coming across my page for the very first time, just go ahead and scroll down and you'll see all these videos like Nelson Mandela being Bob Marley, or David Blaine being Prince. But getting back to the beginning of this post, Madonna. I am working on quite an interesting theory on who Madonna's parents are. You ever notice how much she looks like Priscilla and how much she looks like Elvis? And hey, do you ever notice their resemblance? And I mean, look at those eyebrows. Those are definitely hereditary, coming from dear old dad. And hey, Baron and Elvis Aaron Presley. Something to it. There's something here, and I'm working on it. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I know that Madonna's mom isn't really Priscilla Presley, and her dad isn't really Elvis. And Baron's dad really isn't Elvis, who is really Donald, and his mom isn't really Diana, who's really Melania. All for entertainment purposes. But I mean, come on, people.
I mean, usually I'm like, you're reaching, bro. But after today's video, seeing how these planes are lining up with craziness and lining up with the day Kobe died and Philadelphia posting this, and everything's starting to seem true and real, y'all.
I put on a wig one time, right? So when I put on the wig, because I was trying to get into this other character, so I put on the wig, I looked in the mirror and I went, oh my God, and I was attracted to me. Y'all, so I took right in.
Yo, look at this video of carts full of returns at Target. If you work at Target, upload some of these videos, because let us know, show us that what we are doing is working. It is working. Look at that, and hopefully this shows them that the people will vote with their dollars.
So what is Red 40 exactly? So it is a synthetic chemical that is related to azo dyes that is made from petroleum. And there are a number of companies that manufacture it, and it's manufactured on quite a large scale. I'm sure there's more than 500,000 pounds now in 2023 and 2024. And what is the purpose of this? The purpose of food dyes is to make food more attractive using bright colors as a marketing and advertising strategy. And it's even applied sometimes to natural foods, like for example, oranges. There's a special food dye that's approved that is really only used for Florida oranges, I believe, to make them look more orange and more appealing in the grocery store.
All right, family. There you have today's reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed it. How do you guys like? New mic out for delivery right now. This one's just too bulky, too heavy. It's literally sitting on my chest right now. It's getting returned. New mic tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. A lot of crazy things happening, y'all. A lot of crazy things that it's just too much. There's too much coincidences and everything happening that I don't not believe. Like, I gotta go do some research. I gotta go do some research and figure it out. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you made it this far, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Banging out videos. We'll be back tomorrow for another reaction. Hope everyone out there has a good Saturday. Y'all be safe. Appreciate all the love you guys have been showing. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the Man Cave. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Later.